Hello friends, welcome. I'm Commissar Mark and today we are going to be playing some more There Are Billions. Today's mission is going to be the Lands of the Giant, which is going to be one of the simpler missions in this campaign, and I'm gonna explain why in the command center. So in the command center going forward, I'm gonna also be marking all the available resources, even though I'm not usually using all of these sites for myself. It's just that some people have been asking for where all the resource locations are, and so I'm gonna highlight them on each command center map that we cover in the future, starting with this one. And I'm gonna also do red circles as before, where I will mark where there are runner infected and it is not advised to push into it with rangers only, otherwise you will risk getting overwhelmed. So that red circles will mark heavily infested locations. We will also cover invasion points as usual, so I'm gonna do yellow lines where there is possible for enemy runner groups to spawn. This map does not feature any swarms, but it does have random runner attacks and shambler attacks for that matter from all exposed edges if the game thinks that it should spawn from there, and it is randomized and you do not get any warnings for that, so always be mindful of that. On this map, flexible defense can work and can work quite well, and I will be delaying making shocking towers for a long time because there are no huge swarms. We don't need to worry about getting it on day 11, 12 or 13 as usual. We will be delaying it for future. This will allow us to push out a second soldier center earlier, get more rangers out, establish a proper, better, stronger flexible defense, and then start getting some soldiers once we establish ourselves properly and get the iron that is in the north. Stone is heavily infested, as is customary on these maps, on this difficulty, so a lot of shamblers there. We'll have to clear it with our initial rangers and then use the remaining rangers to establish patrols on the sides before we get more of them, to then use the flexible defense to push out further to the limit before we push into too many executives or runners, as we'll need soldiers to deal with that, and you will see what I mean later. For now, something else to note here is gonna be that I have the market unlocked, which is going to automatically sell any excess resources if we are full on something, and that is useful as otherwise those resources would be wasted. You don't get paid much for this, but it's better than nothing. And you can also use it to buy or sell resources manually, which is not usually something I do very often, but it could be handy. If you, for example, loot some oil on a map, you can then sell it. Or you can buy iron for a pinch, in a pinch if you need that for some soldier production and you are lacking. But it is very expensive and so therefore usually not very advised. Key feature of this map is going to be the giant in the north, and we will have to deal with him. Goal of this map is 1,000 population, as well as clearing all the infected on the map, which is pretty simple. Once we have 60 or 80 soldiers, we should be able to kill the giant without any issues and then hunt down the rest of the infected on the whole map. I'll be using shocking towers to lock down some of the areas, but not everything, as I trust my skill with the flexible defense to really not have to worry about the runner groups too much. Something I didn't really mention yet is that all the northern maps will have a penalty to our energy consumption needs for all our buildings, resulting in us having to build mills more often to sustain our city, but in general it is not a huge deal, and we'll be investing into a technology later that is going to be called insulation, which will boost our energy efficiency for all of our structures going forward, which is going to basically eliminate the penalty or at least mellow it at first, and we can then improve upon it even more, resulting in us being able to really use less mills even on all the other maps, which is going to be rather important going forward. Something to mention is I now have access to the market, and as I mentioned, you can use it for trade, but it also reduces food consumption in all houses that are built in its area of effect. And this market is a 3x3 structure which requires one tile extra around it, so you can think of it like a 5x5 because it requires the street or the access around it. And this is the layout I like to use, where I cover as much as possible with a single market. You can build up to 4 of them on the map at the same time, and you require 200 population in order for you to be able to build one, and you also need to research it in your wood workshop before you can really make use of it. Now, after the mission is done, we'll use our research points to pick up the technology that's called insulating materials to reduce energy consumption of our tents and cottages. And next time we'll be fighting a swarm, and then we'll be going to a mission that's called the Frozen Lake, which is like a harder version of this map, but it has some redeeming qualities to it, and our main concern is going to be actually getting through that swarm that's guarding it. So anyways, thank you for watching and see you around. Bye.